This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's rant, I should say once again. Most of you know that my channel, at least some of you should know, my channel was demonetized along with many other truth channels yesterday. And I know that doesn't seem to matter to a lot of people, but the only thing I'd say is if you're making videos for 10 hours a day, which I pretty much am, multiple videos every single day, if you're going to work, do you want to go do whatever you do, possibly at the end of the day receive $0 for your work if you've earned that right? Now, I get it if nobody wants to listen to my work and my channel, and I suck, and there's no ads and there's nothing like that because nobody watches it. It's a little bit different, but I have a huge problem with someone trying to take away my livelihood and deeming me hateful and harmful and dangerous. Now, I've told everybody, again, to go to my other secondary channel. Nobody seems to have gone. I uploaded 2 new videos today, one about the death of the American flag, the other about predictive programming that people have been sharing on my website revolving Justin Timberlake and one of his music videos with the I Can't Breathe movement. And again, I can't reiterate this enough to check out my website at callforanuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month, but please consider going over there and sharing information and being a part of a community, because this community right here is an absolute joke. It's a dead zone is what it is. And they've turned it into one. Now, some people will say, well, you're just really upset because they demonetize you. No, I'm not. I'm really upset because when people poke at me, when people try to attack me unprovoked, I fight back. Anyone who's watched my channel has seen that. I'll go after anybody. I don't care who they are. If they say things and cross a line with me. Otherwise, I'm open to criticism. I'm open to debate. I'm open to people not agreeing with what I say. I don't flag other channels. I'm all for free speech. I don't believe in hate speech. So channels who slander me and make fun of me, I don't care that they do it, as long as I'm allowed to do it back. Because 10 times out of 10 when I do it back, it's like running them over, literally putting a penny on a train track and running them over. You guys have seen the roasts and the ridicule I've done to these people who have tried to humiliate and embarrass me. So my point being here, and what I'm trying to get at, is I think it's kind of funny that what they've done is they've demonetized all these truth channels. I'm not going to name everyone who's been demonetized because I don't want to leave anyone out, and that's not fair. But a lot of the big ones, a lot of channels, and others haven't been yet, but they will be. You know, a lot of people who I know who have good channels, quality content. I think it's pretty funny that Logan Paul is allowed to remain monetized on this platform. Or excuse me, I'm sorry. Did I say this kid's name wrong? Because I can't even keep them apart. They're such legitimate lowlifes. Jake Paul, sorry, excuse me. You know, these guys that get promoted day in and day out on YouTube. They show them in their $1 million homes. They show them, doing ridiculous things over and over, and they push them on the younger audience because they want to continue to dumb them down. 20 million subscribers, and Jake Paul was involved in looting and rioting during all of this stuff that's going on. Now, all I've said about what's going on, I've never said one word that was racist. I'm not a white supremacist. I don't believe in racism. I think it's a joke. I think anyone who's racist is socially engineered and stupid. I don't care if people don't believe that or not. That's the truth of the matter. I don't look at race. I don't look at anything like that. Okay, my only enemy on this earth are people who worship Lucifer, people who are trying to manipulate children and do these things to children that I talk about, these acts. Other than that, I don't care. I really don't. You could be whatever skin color. I mean, you could be black and you could worship Lucifer, then I have a problem with you, but not because you're black. And isn't it hypocritical that Jake Paul, after his brother Logan Paul, supposedly put up a video on YouTube which showed people hanging themselves or committing suicide somewhere in the woods a couple years back, his channel's fully monetized. He still trends in YouTube. And now this guy, who is now under arrest, or there's he's been charged in the riots for looting, his channel's fine. There's an ad right in it. He's allowed to be monetized. And not only is he allowed to be monetized, he's raising money for Black Lives Matters at $40,000. Now, the only reason you don't see any donation things on my channel for Black Lives Matters or any of this stuff is because it's funded by your own government. Not because I don't care about black people, because it's all funded by them. It's all complete and utter mind control. That's what it is. But that's okay, right? This man, I mean, that's like promoting a guy who commits armed robbery and saying, yeah, you could still monetize and be on our platform and do all these types of things. And yeah, we'll also let him raise money for funds. As if, by the way, that money's actually going to go to any type of movement, because there is no movement to fund. And in general, I've talked about all of these charity cases many times over. They're all funded by the same people. The money never goes anywhere. How many trillions of dollars needs to be raised for breast cancer awareness? Awareness, not even just cure it. Breast Cancer Awareness March. Oh yeah? I think we're aware. We got it already for years on end. We get it. We're aware it exists. Cure it. Oh wait, we can only cure it if you're one of the elites, of course, because we created it. Sorry, I forgot. That's them talking, of course, not me. So this is what YouTube allows. And the reason I'm doing this video is because they wanted a war. They got a war. This is not a war of violence. This is not a war that involves any type of violence. Not physical violence, no guns, nothing, but verbal assault. You see, because that's what they want to take away next. To them, it's more important than, it's just as important as taking away guns, is your mouth and what you say. They're already saying that racism, which they're socially engineered, is going to be considered a health emergency concern in certain states, right? So what, no comedian can crack a racist joke, whether it's about a white person or a black. Chris Rock can't crack racist jokes about black people or white people, right? It's about censoring free speech because they're afraid of people like me who have a voice. Because my voice and my sword is way more dangerous than anything else that they could ever throw with their bull crap that they continue to push and spew through the media. And they're not gonna. Because I'll tell you right now, I've warned them and I've told them, there isn't going to be some type of uprising of violence where all these idiots are like, a call for an uprising. I thought you would be excited for the riots and the protests. Have you listened to my channel? Have you listened to a word that's come out of my mouth? It's socially engineered. This is all to push towards a new world order. Nobody is going to silence me, ever, ever. They're going to have to cut my tongue off and cut my head off. Okay? And I said in one of my last videos that I had never had a hero ever other than Jesus Christ. Well, I forgot to mention one other person, because there is one human being that I've looked up to other than Jesus Christ who I admire, and that's John the Baptist, who Jesus said was the most perfect man to ever live, but he'll be the least in heaven, the last. And even allowed himself to be baptized by John the Baptist. Because John the Baptist didn't put up with crap from anyone. Neither did Jesus. Jesus wasn't running around singing Kumbaya. And I'm not comparing myself to either, because I shouldn't be compared to anyone, because I'm lower than that. I'm on the same breath as Jesus. Of course not. Or John the Baptist, or even any disciple, or anyone. I'm not. And I'm not saying that, but I don't sit back and take crap. So I want to make this really clear. They're asking for war by doing this to people and channels, and then they're going, yeah, well, now you can't contact YouTube's, you can't contact us at our phone line or on email because of the C-19, so we're just going to demonetize you and screw you. Well, we're not going to sit back and take it. And by we, I mean you guys, the listeners, and myself. I've seen the messages that you've sent to Susan. I know I've seen the messages you've written to me about how the phone lines are shut off. There's more ways to get them. Twitter, Instagram. I'm not saying to ensue any violence. Just tell them how you feel. You have a right to do that. Just like these people have a right to protest. If we all want to believe that Black Lives Matters is real, they have a right to protest and peacefully protest. If we want to believe it, go ahead. I'm not saying that there aren't real people in there, because there are, because they're being engineered and manipulated. Just like we have a right to protest this discrimination against Christians, discrimination against people who speak a different narrative. We're not going to stand for it. So when I say that I'm going to come after them, what I mean is I'm going to troll, I'm going to bug, I'm going to literally be standing by their cars to the point where they rip their hair out because they're sick of hearing my mouth and seeing my face when I reveal it. Unless they stop restricting people such as myself from speaking. And it's not just about me, it's about other channels too. Because we're all in this together. The more of us that get taken down, the less of us there are to wake more people up. Because the more of us there are, whether we like each other or not, we're in the same boat. We're in the same boat. The ultimate goal is to wake up as many people as possible. And I don't care if you're one of the truthers who goes, well, what I talk about is more important than what he talks about or what she talks about. Yeah? Well, how is that feeling right now with all this stuff going on? Does it matter as much? If it does, it means you're a narcissist. What matters is waking people up, because now more than ever is a time we can all wake people up. We don't have to be friends. We don't have to do this in unison. We can continue doing what we're doing. But people are skeptical of what's happening. People aren't buying the C-19. People are seeing this Black Lives Matter movement, and all of a sudden, everything is flipped from standing for the flag and then kneeling for the flag, which 4 years ago was like unconstitutional. Now it's like, well, if you stand for the flag, you're unconstitutional. They're inverting everything. So they want a war. They got a war. And they're not just dealing with me, they're dealing with you and everybody else out there who supports free speech, who supports the right to protest. Because what we're doing is we're protesting the censorship. If you can have people like Jake Paul or Logan Paul on here who are literally committing crimes. Looting is a crime. A crime. And you still let them monetize, but you don't let someone like me give a difference of opinion on this stuff without saying once we should go be violent or do anything against anything. Just saying what I think about what I see, which is my God-given right. You want to poke at me? I'll poke back. On your best day, YouTube and all you censorship Nazis out there, on your best day, you couldn't lace my boots. And on my worst day, I can tie yours together and make you fall flat on your own face. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Until you start treating other people with the same respect that you treat other people on this platform who you market and you promote. This ain't going to fly. I'm not your typical, okay, well, now I'm going to go to BitChute. I'm going to run away. I ain't going nowhere. I still have my website. I still have my other channels. And guess what? You poke even harder, be the biggest mistake you've ever made. Ever. Because I will be full front. I almost said full front nudity, but no. I will be full out in public, promoting this cause, waking more people up, and being more of a threat to you than you could ever imagine. And that's not a violent threat. That's not a physical threat. The threat to you guys is my voice. And I already know that. But like I said, you better come with a chainsaw and be ready to cut my tongue and my head off. Because I ain't shutting up anytime soon. A reminder, check out my other channel if you haven't already. That's where I'm uploading new content. Nobody seems to be over there, which is sad. I have new content over there already. And check out the website. I'd appreciate it if people signed up. And again, the Patrons, because of you, it keeps these channels going. I couldn't do it without you, so thank you. If you could, consider becoming one. I'd appreciate it. If not, it's okay. Understandable. Let Susan know how you feel. Let YouTube know how you feel. I'm not telling you how to feel. Let them know how you feel. Use your right to free speech. Use your right to protest. Just like we're allowing the Pauls here to loot and riot and also raise $50,000 in trending videos on YouTube for Black Lives Matters without censoring them. But if you have a difference of opinion and you point things out like, oh my goodness, well, Kobe Bryant was wearing a shirt that said that years ago, and boy, they sure seem to be scared. But guess what? I'm not scared. Never been, never will be. I'll tell you right now, if I were you, I would be. Trust me.